Hello, this is Jared trying out the Prehistoric DLC once again. This time I'm going to be concentrating on the garden biome. Last two episodes I was out here in the feather biome. I like the name of that feather biome. Actually, I like garden biome as well. See, these guys were not happy with the amount of eggs that were in there, so we're going to remove that. We're going to also aim to automate that. We're going to start basically with this plant, which is the food of these lumbs. First thing I want to know about them, can you attend to them in farms? Oh, cancel that. It's supposed to be open. Make this a priority. Make that a priority, and we'll see if there's any. I'm assuming no. None of the plants that appears in the feather biome work with the farming station. It's not looking good so far. So, creating some fertilizers. Anything going to be done with that is the question. One thing I did find out, though, I kind of noticed it last time, but didn't really fully understand it. The requirements, it shows you what's required for it to grow wild. Well, wild or farmed at the top. And then it goes down to domestic growth. This one's wild, so it basically kind of grays it out. And it shows you what it would need. Down here we have the actual farmed, and basically indicating you need all this, but plus you also need water, and if you get that, you'll get 100% output versus the 25%. So I'm going to say no, that this plant does not get attended to by the farming station. Let's look at some other things. I'm curious. I noticed it grows up and down doors. If you open a door, will that cause it to break? I see it can also go around what I would, I guess, describe as inside corners. But it does not go around outside-ish corners like that. It tries to continue on. I also made an assumption early on that you've got a distance of 6 on either side. Looking at... Okay, we've lost our oxygen, carbon dioxide, and polluted oxygen. Let's aim to fix that. So how I'm addressing that is by opening up this channel right here. Could either build a pump over the side, but I think it'll be easy enough just to get hydrogen to go out this direction. So we can get this plant to grow. But yeah, what I was, just before I was interrupted by hydrogen, what I was trying to show there is the size or length that this goes out. So we've got, maybe do this view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Maybe it's twice the amount that I had thought. In fact, when this plant here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, actually made it to 12 and had to end there, I suspect. Maybe because it's 12 is the max. Anyways, this guy is... Oh, we're kind of digging out in a weird way. That just meant to do that. Oh! Whoa! Planter? Did you do something? What's going on? What's going on? It looked like Planter had, I thought, picked up the fertilizer and put it in there, but no, unless maybe... Okay, let's clear... Guys, let's clear this out with oxygen. Or, yeah, let's put in at least... get that hydrogen out of there. Okay, this has me curious. Was there something to this? Oh, look. Okay, actually the plant is dead, or at least not able to grow. Maybe it was just the dupes being busy. Oh. Okay, and two things to note here. One, first of all, this is getting farmer's touch. And second of all, it applies to the actual vines and not the node. Maybe the node itself also can be applied, but I'm assuming the node just grows these at once it gets to the max. Maybe there's no point. Okay, so knowing just that alone, indicates to me that I don't want to have these guys growing inside with the lumbs. So let's, now that I know that, and I'm guessing the maximum is 12 on other sides, so I had it wrong there. Those few pieces of information, how about I try to create a farm for these, and then after we'll refactor our Lumb stables. I guess it's not going to hurt to finish this project in the meantime. So we'll clear this out. The other thing I'm going to clear out is this stable here for this little guy. This guy never became tame, so I'm assuming that they don't go to the grooming station. I'm just going to throw them over with this little bit of water so that they can live happily and maybe utilize this critter later on. So do a relocation. Just like that. I was having problems with relocation actually with a number of the critters. We'll see if we have an issue with this guy. Do that at priority. Nobody seems to be going. Oh. There we are. Okay, yeah. Able to move them. Veterinarian dropping that critter off. Excellent. All right, now that I've got that, I've got some room to experiment with. So I also want to get rid of the water. We'll push them into some liquid reservoirs, build 2 pumps to do that. Don't want to tie into this electrical circuit. Have an old temporary manual generator to kind of kick this off. Battering the line, of course. And 1 extra of those. And let's get pumping soon here, guys. Explorer charging up her battery. See, this guy is happy now with the level of, I guess, at least non-hydrogen being down there. Maybe we'll start the digging process underneath this. So I don't know exactly how I want to design these farms for these Orgvo nodes. Orvagro node. Okay. But what we'll do, we'll just clear out all this land while we're waiting for some of this water to move out of the way. Maybe make a priority of getting that ladder together. We've got Chef on power. Now, if I were to, I'm okay, another test. If I were to replace this, is this going to take this down? So normally this can actually grow up that. If I did that, is that going to be an issue for this plant? Just curious. Oh, it is. Okay, unfortunate. But plant still is fine. It's more of a plant, more for the purpose of nature reserve. Will it also grow up? I know that you can open a door, but will it go? Actually, don't want that open. It was just for a test. Okay, we should be able to dig that out now as well. Now that I've got that, we can go in here. Natural floor would technically be there. Love the sounds of the dinos. pretty much. It was very easy to get enough food, even without not understanding all the setup. But what I want to aim to do is understand it a little bit better so I can optimize even further in terms of food production. Let's put in some tiling like that. Double check that we still have a nature reserve. It's looking good that way. Okay, so there's that. We still are, I guess, waiting for our water. So let's do another project in the meantime. So I planned when I was making my deep freezer earlier on to make a great hall here, but never actually moved the great hall from here to here. So let's do that now. Start off with a floating water cooler. Take that out, take that out. Put back in our mesh tiling here and here. And we'll start digging this direction. What did that give us? Not a lot. Let's do something else then. Now bringing in decorations and automated lights in our new Great Hall. And I'm building a wall pot. I don't think I've ever done this before. But there it is. So we've got a Great Hall. We can disassemble the one up here now. Grow a bunch of these just for the decoration value. Maybe we should up the priority of this though. Ooh, 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 ooh. What is going on? What is going on? Don't like this. Don't like this. Don't like that at all. Guess we need to continue. We're just getting too much hydrogen. Have this go like that. Have this go like that, and we'll set hydrogen down like that. Fortunately, I did put in some gas reservoirs because I knew this was going to happen at some point. Feel like an infinite hydrogen storage is due. So if I don't do this now, I know that this is not going to go well for me. So we're going to put in an infinite storage supply of hydrogen right here. Just want to clear the ground there of all stuffs. I'm going to bring in some conductive wires. This is the first actual conductive wire I've used yet. Insulated tile right there. Rhex egg, actually, if we're gonna get that, I've got a spot dedicated for wild Rhex. We'll put that over there. Clean this floor up. We can open this. Let's move this. Oh, don't open that. We will just relocate that. Seal this off. We'll have this go. Actually, we'll figure out in a moment exactly where that's going to go. We need this sealed out. I've insulated this just in case. I'm not sure that that's going to matter or not. Actually, if I bring in the cooler hydrogen, that might make a lot of sense. Make sure this can have some power, at least for now. We can get rid of these too. So here's my thinking of how to do this connection. We've got an in and out of the infinite storage. We're going to actually keep our gas reservoirs, at least for now. Because if I can store it in a gas reservoir and send it out, at least I'm not wasting power and having a pump. That's a disadvantage of having that. So we're going to, at priority order, store stuff into the set of gas reservoirs and consume that. And only in the event that this is going to run out, then we'll tap into our infinite supply. So if we've got excess hydrogen, it'll at least have a place to go up here. No, I've got that. I had that reversed, don't I? Actually, that's kind of nice because then I don't didn't even need to put in the gas bridge. Okay, so hydrogen's flowing this way, and at some point, our infinite hydrogen supply will be used. But we'll prioritize on a gas reservoir storage for that. Okay, and finally, after all those projects, here we are. Can get rid of this. We'll even get rid of that. The whole setup. Power around it. I think we had some piping in there. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. Just for completeness, how about we connect that and that. Bit of water to mop up. Get rid of these guys. Okay, I believe now we are ready to experiment with our node type plants. So I decided we're going to get rid of this little plant, but still want to have a nature reserve, obviously. So what I'm going to do is relocate this pip into this little area here. And they should be able to, oh, maybe not, because there's too many there's too many general plants around. Okay, let me think about that. So instead what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of those two little divots. It's the oddest nature reserve. Worked early on, but what I'm going to do is get, especially with a pip, we'll get an area here with some natural tiles. Making this out of nickel, we'll see if that is actually going to be valid for doing this. I'm assuming it will be. We can then destroy that. And yeah, that has given us a nickel ore tile. Fill this in like that. That is going to be good for planting. Can we store our... Oh no, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. And I've got to do this too, don't I? Move that right there. Take that door out. Take that door out. Out. Now we just need to block in our little pip. And then we should be in business. So now we're bringing in a bin, just make it easy to gather some seeds, blocking this area off. Hopefully Pip will show up here soon. So, to decide what we're going to grow, figure sweet corn. Might as well get a little bit of food in addition to the farm, or nature reserve. Oh, it looks like you need to be re-wrangled. So we've got the amount of seed in there. Someone could just simply wrangle you. Okay, and we'll move this guy. Oh, this already has that. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that critter there will start to form that. In the meantime, we still have a nature reserve. Don't want to lose that, so maybe I'll do another project while we're waiting for the pip. short little project here, automated lights in the washroom. And I thought to myself, let's test out if this critter actually attends to... I guess I could put it in the one of the stables. I'm just curious if that interacts with the node, similar to how it works with the sweet corn. Pretty sure it does. Actually, you know what? I'm curious to put it specifically in... take you in this area, because I'm curious if we can get it both farmed and attended to this. Oh, I think this plant lost its... I don't know how that happened exactly. Okay, so that guy does pollinate, and it pollinates the individual pieces there. So let's inspect. Oh, that's an actual fig. There's the vine. So it has, yeah, you can have both Farmer's Touch and Pollinated Mimica. Okay, we're going to be aiming to have that. Maybe we'll let you actually know for your food production. We better return you. Okay, oh goodness, when was it? I think we are in need of more in that one. Okay, so our pip has planted something there, so the pip can go over to the next one. Also starting to bring up lead, and that comes from the bottom of the base. That might be a little bit of a delay to work on that. Let's put in a storage for lead. We'll throw that kind of down here. Oh, Pip has planted another one. Okay, so this is going to be for lead. So that'll start... what happened there? Lead. Maybe aim for... yeah, we'll bring that full 20 tons up. Why not? And I think... You know what? That pip is nearly done. Let's just smash this. We're ready to go. Is this going to be an individual dig? I mean, it seems silly to kind of do that. In fact, technically, the most efficient way is just to dig underneath a plant. Take that out. Take that out. Put a door in there. And also remind myself that's not the natural door. If I want to get every 3 tiles. On this side, also remind myself we're actually out of sync here because we had the technology, or was it the portal? Omelet. Bring in that. So any food that I want to be stored in the deep freezer, it's a new item for me, an omelet. So I'll put that here so when the dupes delivers that, and I'll put omelet here so it goes into the deep freezer so it doesn't get wasted. There's the omelet going in. Excellent. Well, we have one more tile with... Or no, 2 more tiles with the pip, but I think we're ready to proceed, though. So we'll start off by digging this out. Maybe we'll connect this as well. Open this door. So this is what I'm thinking for my node farm. I'm going to have automation to be able to remove these figs. Honestly, we can't reach everywhere. But I'm going to plant a single hydroponic farm right there. And I'm going to give 12 tiles. Plus another 4. Then 8. We're going to shine some light where we can. But I'm not going to be worried about having light access everywhere. And we're going to be growing one of these Mimica buds right here. Maybe we'll start that growth now. And also upgrading this circuitry over here is being upgraded as we're adding more stuff. Open this. I'm pretty sure this plant can grow up like that when the doors open. If not, then I guess we'll have to make an adjustment, but we'll see. We'll learn as we go. Connect into our water line. Oh, what was that? Don't know. Oh, we've got a lot. Okay, scald. Who's scalding? Tell me. Oh, you were up here because I was removing some of Yeah, this is a bit of an issue. We don't actually need to go up there all that. Okay, why are you guys going up? Oh, probably these things are taking damage. There's no way to actually tell disable auto repair on multiple things, is there? It's kind of annoying. Have to do this button by button. Click by click. Disable, disable, disable. Disable. You guys go away. I don't want you up there. Could just restrict them from going out in space. Though I don't want... Okay. Let's just assume... There are so many wild of these darlets. Apparently 2 more. Got a ring of them over there. Just slowly producing meat. Bring you over here as well, bud. Put some water on the way for you. You're in a farm, so once you grow... Actually, I'm curious. Will the farmer attend to this? And make it grow out quicker, or is that just for the vines? Also have an output for the figs once we get to that point. Plug this guy in too, and then maybe we'll work on a second farm. Pretty much the same configuration, just about. So here is our second greenhouse. Pretty much the same design, just double check that. What happened there? Did not measure that right. Okay. After moving everything over 1 tile, check again. There we are, 12. Start growing this Mimica right away. A little bit... Oh. I'm a little bit nervous this isn't actually going to work. Perhaps I should actually pause this and give this time to see if this vine actually goes up. My assumption is, by looking at it, is no. I almost feel like I'm going to move this over by 1. We'll give this a little bit of time. Right now might go away, and we'll come back in a little bit and see what happens. So after letting this go for a little bit, I can see we've extended 2 in the left, nothing in the right. So I would say if you've got an aura grow node and it's up against a wall, it can only grow in 1 direction. So armed with this knowledge, I'm going to tear this down, move this over. Fortunately, the way I had this designed, this auto sweeper is actually going to still work at this location. So build a door right there. And I'm actually doing a double door. Reason for that is just that I can get sneaky in just a little bit of, I guess, for a single tile. Oh, that's technically on a tile where we won't be... Oh, no. We'll be growing stuff along this wall. We'll be able to have light access, at least part of the way. Anyway, very minor detail. But main thing, the only thing I really care about is this has got to go there. That's the key. No. Wait a minute. What am I doing? No, the plant... Plant was... Okay, let's go back. Okay, going again. This time we're going to leave the plant alone. So that way it can keep growing without interruption. This guy is going to have to move over, and that's not going to be the location of that. Okay, so we're going to extend this over. Also remembering that I'm going to actually close the door since we've got a critter in. Well, I don't know if you call it critter, but let's call it that for while it's flying anyway. Scalding. You guys are going back up here. Okay, stop that, guys. Stop that. I might actually block this area off for now. Still see hydrogen in here. As long as that pump is running, then okay. So we'll plant one of these. Did I screw that up? What happened? Hold on. That's 12, so we want to go... Hold on. Take down some of this stuff and redo this with our hydroponic farm sitting right there. Place that, that, and that. Get rid of that. Make sure we have an actual tile there. So what I'm doing now is I'm bringing the conveyor line down so we can automatically connect or collect all these figs. We'll store them in our deep freezer when they're needed. We'll load them into our various stables. Now what I'm doing next is actually, and I think of it, move this over. I was going to get a pip to try to plant something right here. Might actually move that over by 1. But yeah, we'll come back to that. But we're having problems in general with this pip. I've got a plant here and here, and I'm liking that. There's no other wild plants that are nearby, but for some reason, nothing has been planted there. Brought in a rose bush seed. We'll see if that does anything. But if not, my thinking is to build a stable, and we won't grow any of these in a farm, but we might as well grow a wild one in the farm or in the stable with these guys, in addition to feeding these guys from figs from up here. I'm going to replace everything up here except for where I want to have a wild plant, that tile right there, so that works out nicely. See if this pip... I don't know what's going on. I'll open up that as well. That is bizarre. Unfortunately, I think we're just going to have to move on. If I take a combination, because I think have we been without a nature reserve? We've got a... Oh, we do. Oh, that's because this Mimica, as long as that is there, I guess we'll just... This is just one of those special tiles, I think. You just can't get any... That happens every now and then. Okay, let's just take that out. Take this guy and relocate this pip over here. Make priority finishing that, otherwise we're going to have that pip run away on us. And if you could pick up one of these nodes... Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to happen. Dupes, come on. It's a high priority task. It's just going to happen again. Oh, it even has a seed this time. Send that back in here too. There we go. It's all dropped off. I don't know what happened with this middle section. We'll put that back. So might as well work on the automation line while we're waiting for this pip. Also, we're going to automate our egg storage and all that. Nobody is wrangling you. Why? There we go. Ward seed or yeah. Somebody needs to move this pip. Okay, the pip is in there. We'll start with this tiling first. Dupes. Put in some water. Oh, and I forgot to start growing one of these. I'm wondering, I'm curious, I don't know. Will this pip be able to actually plant this? Because I don't know if this is considered just like a mess of plants. Oh, maybe. I'm wishing I hadn't known that because I would have gotten this done first. So I don't think that pip's going to plant that there. Since I'm going to be removing this anyways, ultimately, let's get rid of that and see if that changes the pip's mind about planting that. But I feel like... Oh, there we go. That fixed it. That's enough. I guess this was far enough away. Take that door out then. Take this pip. And I'd like to repeat the same thing down there, but though let's finish with automation of removing these guys' eggs, which would be super awesome. Have you guys laid any eggs in the meantime? You have one in there, but you guys are still happy for now. So continuing on, loading in some water. Instead of having this mess of critters, we'll have them stored over here or automatically converted to meat. I guess tough meat, actually, but still. That is going to be enough water. Let's pop in a natural tile right here. Send our pip over, see if we can plant one of these seeds. I wonder if this is an igneous rock issue. Taking a while to get there and switch to granite. Destroy this. Take one of these seeds. Move that right there. Take this little pip. And we'll move him here and see if we can get this planted right there. I already forgot how this thing works. I've got this machine in the way, as well as this one, so we're going to relocate these. Get this to go up by one, just like that. And that to go down by one. We'll have a conveyor line. Meet like that. And ultimately, let's not go through our wild plant, but we'll go through this. Down in like the, actually technically, trying to minimize, you know what, don't worry about it. Just trying to minimize time that the eggs are going to spend in the stable. This is where we're going to feed them. We've got our grooming station, our drop-off station. Let's see why it might be slightly better to have this set up on the opposite side that the node is on, but anyway. We also have to see if this plant, we might have to get rid of this to convince this pip to plant right here. We want to get that done before, I assume, before this goes out too much. If we're going to be able to do that at all. Oh, Yes. Okay, so this gives us another place there. Can open up this. Take this guy out, and we will build another stable specialized for these critters. So here's the stuffs for this stable. And I also realized I've upgraded the circuitry everywhere here, but didn't actually connect these double transformers to here. So let's do that. Make sure we disconnect this. And we can get rid of that guy. I guess we can. I don't know how many critters. Let's check. How many can we get in a stable? 16. So that means 6. We'll try seeing if I can support 6. I'm not sure if that's actually the case or not, but we'll go with that in terms of the amount of food. Actually, probably not, because we're only just starting to grow these, and these take a while to expand out, etc. But maybe what I'll do is I'll just have one stable operating, and then we'll bring in the other one to operation once we actually think we've got enough figs. 8,000 calories. Yeah, that's not nearly going to be enough, I would suspect. The other thing is, I don't know how much weight to put in here. Orga fig. Weight to calories. So they need 1,300 calories, more than a dupe. Is there anything here that describes how much weight versus... Not sure. Just taking note that these orga figs are growing, or orga nodes rather, are growing up those doors. And yeah, realize that critter sensor is not in a good place. So we'll move that so this node can grow its vines up and around. Put into sensors here. We're going to be looking, of course, for our, forget the lumb. Set that down to 0. We'll bring in our lumb eggs right there. Let's have, if we're below 10, open that door. And in here, I'm going to disconnect. Hopefully I don't forget this once I make this. How am I going to remind myself of that? Anyway, let's, yeah, I'll just have to. So if I'm below 6, which is the target, I should get a true signal. It's not true, right? Why did that happen? Can't ignore that. We're going to, at high priority, pick up one of these guys and then dump them right there. Make that high priority. Up to 6. Collecting all eggs. Having eggs dropped off right there. We even have one. Awesome. Look at that. Amazing. That leaves us with a bunch of other eggs here. Some are going to be wild. Some are not. So I'll have to do the fun of sorting, and I'll just go and do that now. But let's take that setting. Make sure that gets applied across like that, and that. It didn't work. Try that again. There we go. Oh, and oh, my pip became tame. I didn't even notice. Ah, that's a pain. That's a real pain, because I don't know if there's anything here a pip can eat. I don't think there is. Nuts. So now I'm going to do attacking a few of these extra guys. Relocate a few eggs and critters over here. And just validate that we have tough meat. Okay, so we should see tough meat being dropped off. And I see farmer attending to this. I see a Mimica. That's awesome. Mimica in here. What are you doing? I don't know that there's any... Let's just kick you out. Oh, the door was open. You were probably here. Actually, maybe it's not a bad idea to have you here because I... Never mind. Let's put that... That's actually not a bad idea. Have these in here. Wasn't even part of the plan, but we're going to do it. I kick that pip out, so we'll have this stable ready, though. I think that pip's just going to die at some point. And I will grow one of these Mimicas right there to have in this room. One's already here. Awesome. Also curious, actually, if do we have a Mimica egg? Because I don't want their egg, if it is an egg. I don't even know. What do you even consider? It's a cooking ingredient. Okay, so that's fine. That's why it's not being picked up. That's good, because I didn't want it to be sent down there where it wouldn't actually turn into a critter, because it's, again, not an egg. Right, of course. Forgot the drop-off spot there for eggs. We'll do that. Can take this out. So this is my first attempt at making stables for these guys. Well, technically, no. Earlier on, I did throw them in a stable. I didn't really experiment with automation and with feeding, really. But this is the first real attempt to make these guys happy in here. They're crowded. They're crowded with the Mimica. I could either kick the Mimica out, or maybe we'll go down to 5. Push one of these guys down here. That should fix the issue. We'll make a total of 1. This guy is below 1. I assume this is going to not count the Mimica. Actually, it's kind of an important thing to know. We've got our Mimica in here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got oh, because they haven't, they're still removing. Okay, so there is 6 critters in here. Right now, this is one of those things that can count as a plant when it's growing like this. It counts as a critter when it's in like this. Oh. Well then, that complicates this sensor, doesn't it? Let's test to make sure that's the case. There's currently 5 of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 6. So, let's just disconnect this to make sure. But we are we below 6? Right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are in fact below 6, because if you just count the Lumb, but given the fact that that is a false signal, are we below 7? We definitely are below 7. Yeah, it does. Nuts. I wish that the sensor had the ability to look at the type of critter, but anyway, it doesn't. So after this realization, I'm going to kick this critter out. The other thing is I put in side of greenhouse. Is that too big? Just curious if these guys can be farmed, being attended by Mimicas. In fact, they have to. Minimums. Oh, it's too big. 96. All right. Well, let's just take down the size a bit. Keep that one open. So we'll come back to that. Yeah, Mimica, let's kick you out. And maybe just for more consistency, we'll do 3 and 3. Relocate one of you guys down here. Oh, of course, Sneaky little Pip. You get out of here, Pip. Love Pips and hate Pips all at the same time. Okay, let's reconnect this and this. And put in... Actually, this is good. That way, if we're below 3, in either case, let me know. Should only be looking at the critters, though. Just going back to this stable over here. Don't count the eggs. Don't count the eggs. Anyway. So now do we have... Okay, we have a greenhouse in here. I don't see anyone using this. So maybe this is not... That's kind of interesting. I kind of thought it would. I was thinking the garden-based plants, you could do farming station, but the feather-based biome, not. I'll give them a little more time to find out if that's true or not. Okay, so you're tame. You're tame. You're a not wild egg, so you can go up there. I think one of the last things to do is find out how much weight to put in each of these in terms of figs. These guys consume 1,300. And if I go find a fig, this one is 325 calories with a weight of 1 kilogram. So 325, huh? Let's see if we put in enough figs for 2 of these guys. That would be, let's see, 1,300 divided, or clear that. 1,300 times 2. Divide that by 325, so 8. Thinking 8 might be the right number. Maybe we'll even round up to 10. So that's going to be for figs, located here and here. I don't know if I actually have an exporter or something to actually get figs out of the setup. That's going to be important. So what we'll do, put fig there. And I guess 10. To low priority. So will the dupes actually take out of a fridge of a lower priority and send it to critters? I guess so. Good, I was hoping so. Alright, so we've got a feeding process. I just don't know if we actually have enough. We may have to wait and come back to see how this is going. So just looking at my balance up here, clearly I do not have enough. It's not sweet corn that I don't have enough of, but we don't have enough mimikas. So we'll throw one more in. I have 2 currently. Technically, technically 4, right? Anyway, we'll see if that improves anything. Nothing with Farmer's Touch anywhere down here. I think that is going to be all for the garden biome in terms of the stables and critters and plants and all of that. But before I go, I want to go back, turn back and see how my progress of feather biome stuff is. But let's just review what we got first. We've got 2 stables, 2 greenhouses. I don't know if we've got the right mix of food to critters, but we'll kind of see over time how that goes. We got a false signal here. Okay, they just did a little dressing for, well, that was temporarily true. Good. Yeah, I think we're going to have problems over short term. Oh, we've got you're not wild with keeping these guys going. But if a few of them starve until things kind of normalize. Actual food, 250,000 veggie poppers. Barbecue meat, 150,000. So we are looking really good food-wise with 16 dupes. Now let's go look at... Okay, let's go look at here. First thing I'm noticing, these guys are not happy. Why? Pressure. Well, I was experimenting with that. I know now that that's not a thing. I think I will tear this down. And we'll get a plan to get more chlorine in there. So we'll come back to that. I'm still concerned this guy's eating too much. A sign of that. We've got a true sick. I'm going to move this guy over here. I think it might just be the case. I'm going to move this guy. If I can select him over here. And the reason for that is I have way more drips than I had expected. 389. So I'm targeting 4. Let's at least up that to 6. That's one change I will make. Make that 6. That's an easy thing to do. Love the fact that these drips don't expire or go bad. Let's take that out and work on keeping these guys happy because they're not doing much at the moment other than taking care of the chlorine that's been building up in here. First thing I'm going to do for these guys is put in liquid airlock so that we can try to push in higher amount of chlorine. I don't know if I can see the amount of, what was their output? Just curious what we've gotten for this system. That's the, oh yeah, Megafond grain. Let's track that over here. 72 kilograms. And I just want to get a sense of what I can do with that frost spun. I can take 3 of them to make a frost spun. 1,200 calories. Okay. There is other uses of that as well, of course. I'm going to have a spot to grow more. I don't know if I'm actually going to grow more, but they'll be there. Available to me. Should I decide to do that? Oh, power. What? We've got no power. How is that possible? Okay, we're going to continue on with this project, but I think I'm going to electrical upgrade this little area for sure. Just not able to get enough. Wait a minute, is that for the whole base? No. Okay, thank goodness. Might be just because this guy is trying to run. Yeah, let's aim to fix that now, and we'll come back to these guys. All right, looking at this closer, we actually do have a base power issue. What's going on? Oh, what's with the lack of hydrogen? I thought maybe we needed another hydrogen generator. Why? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is supposed to be our downward motion of hydrogen going down like this. Which is a sign that this is not able to keep up with our hydrogen needs. But we have a lot of hydrogen stored back. Okay, so that, yeah, that was the issue there. All right, back to this. Trying to dump in some liquid. Got brine all around. A little bit of water came in there. Actually, upgrading this line might be good because I really want to make sure this guy, when I want to operate it, doesn't run out of power. Just for the sake of it, let's see if we can try to squeak in 4. Oh, I don't have any more. Let's take that guy out. Good vent there is good. Okay, so I think we have this little environment. I might as well do some mopping up here, which I can start to push in. I've got some carbon dioxide, unfortunately. Maybe we want to deal with that case, actually. Kind of doing something. Let's not go down there after all. Maybe we'll go down here and just open this up and put a pump in for carbon dioxide. For now, we'll just open it like this, and if it starts to get to be too much, we'll put a pump in. Okay, 2 of these guys have come back to life. So I'm going to connect this whole system with this chlorine gas vent. Find a source of either brine or salt water later put in here. Can tell the dupes might get themselves stuck. Let's get that ladder in first. Now that I think about it, we might... I don't know if that's a comfortable... I wouldn't say comfortable amount, but technically... Yeah, no. No. We'll get some more liquid in here. So found a spot with a little bit of salt water. We'll tap into that. Have that drop in over here. You are a tame version? How are you still around? Looking for food. Your calories are at... yeah, I'm pretty sure I removed all these guys. Oh, and this must have been a tame egg. And what age are you? 18. Okay. Fair enough. Find out a little bit oxylite. How are we doing with oxygen? Little thin up here, actually. Seeing the way oxygen is up here, I think the priority is to get to these electrolyzers. Didn't realize I haven't really extended those up. That should actually help push hydrogen up as well. Maybe we'll start to slowly consume this in just these 2 electrolyzers in priority order from these liquid reservoirs. Checking on this, we've got our vine growing up and around. Looks like these guys are looking for food, so definitely not good the way we have things. Oh, the wild version of those guys. Okay, we'll I forgot to kind of round them up. Maybe do that later if I think of it. Okay, so we've got our bottom electrolyzer running. And so is our top one. What about the liquid here that it's not arrived? Why? Ah, just under construction. Actually, I don't think the dupes can reach. No, they can't. That explains that then. So not enough pressure there. Well, while we're... oh no. We'll, yeah, we'll get this done. We'll work on the next part. Okay, so salt water is being sent on the way. Let's just get rid of these guys. It's going to give us a little bit of tough meat. We can fully take down their old stable. Actually, no, let's not get rid of the insulation. So while we have that water loading, let's get our ammo suits in. Going to put in some mesh tiling just to minimize dupes getting their feet wet. Tap into our oxygen line for this. I don't think we need that many suits in there. So we'll put in 2 and see how we are for that. Probably another plant we can get back. Oh, and yeah, thank you for showing me that this setup was not working there, technician. See about finally growing another one of those. Put in some suits. Maybe we should even fully insulate down here. Which would mean that this is no longer needed. Maybe make a ladder system to go down in case we want to get into those zones. Can get rid of this and let's pop in there. Okay, there we go. And with that, I can build a pump and we'll start transporting this chlorine to our destination. So here's what I've got going on. We're going to be dumping chlorine right here. Now that we've got some ammo suits. Can go in here. Maybe make this a bit of the... Actually, I have that set as the priority since there's only so many dupes that can go in here. See if we can sneak in one more of these. And put in an Atmos suit, load that with some oxygen, and we can at least have 3 dupes help out with this part of the project. Though I don't think it'll take too long. Also going to put in a sensor in here because I don't want to take all the chlorine because there's actual plant that could use it. Why spend power pumping this away and sending it up here when we got some of this megafauna that we can tap into? We can set that to be harvested as well, which would be nice. Made green pea gas reservoir. Thought that would make sense with natural gas or with chlorine. Nice cool chlorine. Really glad that there's new geysers here. Outputs temperatures of 5 degrees. So it looks like the dupes took care of the line up to that point. Let's just make this a priority, just given the fact that only so many dupes can come over here. Extra priority, this little thing in particular, because I just want to put in this power. Forget about power. Okay, all about power, actually. Tap into that. And get rid of that. I'm actually surprised at the number of druid drips. We'll see if the increase of the number of critters here is going to give an issue. I might actually up that, but we'll come back to that in a second. A little bit of iron. Plug this guy in. This is an old shearing spot we'll get rid of. See if I can sneak maybe one more, maybe be worth the effort of that. Deliver another suit, maybe ask for some more of these, made out of cobalt, of course. 46 feather fibers. So this guy is producing some of those, even though it is giving us a good amount of a little bit of difficulty keeping up our stable. Though, to be honest, barbecue meat is maintaining 150,000 calories because we're sharing. That's the risk. I'm sharing the meat from this with the dupes. Or basically the dupes are sharing the meat with this Rhex critter. What's going on? Conductive wire. It's not too hot. I know I'm making this out of lead. What's going on? What in the world? Been thinking about this for a bit. All I can see is this is on liquid. So is this guy. Like, why was there damage there? There's no power. Nothing's being produced. It's not like it's overloaded. How could it? It's not connected to anything that's producing, consuming. It's so weird. What? Cold damage. I'm not talking about the gas. No, can't because there's been no power. What? Is that a new thing with lead? Or have I just been unaware? It's lead that I need to find out about. Conductive wire. Waiting delivery. Really hate the fact that it doesn't tell you when something breaks or explain it that well. Igneous. Conductive wire. No. Was there something in the pipe? Maybe there... Oh, you know what? No, it's not the conductive wire. I'm being confused. I connected to a temporary line here that had some gas. The gas maybe made its way back up to this point because it had nowhere to go. In the process of doing that, it froze. I don't know what gas that was. But since we're targeting chlorine minus 36, minus 15, I mean, it's not going to be too cold for that. That's all I don't even know what gas that would have been. Anyway, moving on for now. Only run if you were above 1,000. Okay, we have power now. Wait. Conductive wire. It's the liquid. Oh, that makes... Okay, salt water. That makes... I bet you there were pieces of water that I had in there. Either way, let's, just to be safe, let's drain this back out. Like that. Okay. It's a little hard to tell, I find, what exactly is broken when things are layered over top of each other. Cold damage. But anyway, that is what it was. Okay, now we've got chlorine on the way. Make sure that it can get to the top. Check our water lines. Okay, so that's been drained out. Good. So that should stop happening. Let's go over here. Everything seems happy all of a sudden. And chlorine is being dropped off. And then we're going to be able to feed these guys. Awesome. I think the last tinkering I'm going to do is with this Rhex setup. Still very nervous about it. And since we've got a lot of Drew drips, we're going to extend this. These guys, how many can you put in a stable? Oh, 4. You can fill it like crazy. Okay, well, let's not worry about that. Do we dare go up to 10? We got to. I want to keep this guy alive. One of the problems, too, I don't think it's just that. So now we'll have more critters. We're probably going to get a true signal here. I might have to intervene and start prioritizing these guys going here. So we'll do that. Take in even one of these smaller critters. And force them in. Because this isn't enough. But what I can try and do, maybe double up this. So that's going to open the door. Which means more eggs will be brought in. Maybe that's the issue. I normally put in 10. In a lot of situations, that seems to be enough. But maybe trying to feed Rhex, that's all the issue was. So, as always, we'll come back to this and we'll see how this change does over time. As well as my setup here. Looking for food. No one is starving. Oh, okay. Never mind. One of them is starving, in fact. But our plant isn't fully grown. But glad to see it's gone up and around this way. We've got 2 of these guys. How did that happen? Same thing here. My understanding that when this guy hatches and kind of roams around, one of the dupes plants more. So we just get more and more. Mimolette. Stale. Stale. I didn't... Oh, they're a cooking ingredient. I didn't know they went stale. Mimolette. That's not the seed, though. Mimica bud. I just realized that's a separate... Because in the beginning, I was terrified to cook these things. Because I was like, you're actually cooking the critter. No, that's a separate thing. Okay. So much to learn about this prehistoric DLC. Yeah, I'm not liking this setup because I think we're taking all these critters away from over here. But then again, not really, because as long as but we're just going to get more and more. Maybe that's okay. Until we run out of their buds. Well, we'll see how it all shakes out. Anyways, thanks for watching. This is Jared trying out the Prehistoric DLC. Did a good amount of experiment here with the garden biome and a little bit of tweaks over here. And where are we going next? My guess is to experiment with these 2 critters. We've got this Gint in the plant over here. Laura plant. I don't know how to bring that. Oh, there's some amber that's naturally dropped. But if we could maybe try to integrate a little bit more with that. Anything else? Oh, and this sea comb. And I don't know if... Oh, we do. We've got Jabo as well. So a number of things still to experiment with. Until then, thanks for watching.